Welcome back to What Arty Noobs with General Disturbance. This is an M53 M55, the Tier 9 American SPG. This one is located on the south spawn of Fisherman's Bay and it's under my command. Yes, it's my NA account, which is otherwise known as Biggest Dickus. And yes, that's a reference to Monty Python's Life of Brian. Well, instead of going off to the east side of the map, I'm actually headed up onto the west side on this time. And I'm going to do something I don't normally do, which is knock down trees. Yep, I'm actually confusing the enemy as to which set of trees I'm actually going to hide behind. And I knocked that tree over so it was pointing towards the other ones. Okay, first victim, Char Future, more virus, snapshot in. It heads to the right though and lands amongst those houses. But I'm not going to stick around, I'm moving straight away. Now, these videos were actually taken after I actually completed some of the sandbox battles. As you know, I did some pretty extensive testing in the sandbox. And so I wanted to get back to the ordinary server and prove that yes, I can play this thing correctly. Rounds out again. Just saw the tree move as tree fall just as I fired, and again the shell went to the right of the bush and hit the building. Okay, knocking over some more trees. Again, it's going to confuse the enemy Arty player as to which one I'm going to be behind. And backing off and changing a different one. Okay, so it's musical chairs and try and find the P behind the cup. Okay, Object 704 and an FV4005, otherwise known as the SHIT barn, or Hesh barn as I like to call it, and I splashed him for 48 hit points. Now, you notice the rescue bloomed. That's because I'm moving without actually coming out of the battle assistant. And that's helpful to actually see what happens to the shell. You only need to press your W or your S key to move about. Okay, gorilla. Almost ready to shoot. Rounds out. And yet again the shell goes to the right, but we spotted the enemy Arty. I think it was the Type 61 spotted him, and I'm not changing position this time. Actually staying where I am to get fully dialed in. The enemy Arty dies, or at least one of them does. They've got two more M53 55s, and I'm one of three on my own team. Reload time normally would be 40.27 seconds. I've got 32.65 or 75, and this time the shell actually goes virtually straight, but it goes a bit long. I may have damaged that gorilla, we just don't know. Over in the town we can see that our teammates aren't doing so well, because one of their tanks, the T10, managed to get fairly well south before he was taken out. We are one tank up on the enemy. Leopard Prototype's my next target. Is he going to go through that gap? Looks like he is, but no, he changes his mind. That's out. And this time round the shell goes to the left. So I'm not getting very good RNG from these shells. Again, staying where I am just for the moment. I've indicated the Wizzy 111 GFT. Follow him and see what he does. See if I can get a direct hit. Here we go. He's pulling back. Rounds out. He backs up and... well, I didn't get a direct hit because the shell actually impacted against the side of the building, but I did get some damage off him at last. Now, it's a tier 10 game with tier 9 tanks in it. So plenty of opportunity to earn XP. There's the Wizzy 111, he's still there. And I'm still marking the target, but one of my teammates in the M53, M55 gets the kill. Instead, I'm going to go for this Leopard prototype. Rounds out. He pulls around the corner rather quickly, but I still splash him for 171. Okay, following the enemy, we've noticed there's a T-49 fairly close to me there. He's down by the windmill. I noticed that the 277 knocked the wall over, but we've lost sight of him. There's that Char Future Ford that I aimed at earlier. Okay, we've got a Foch. He's backing up, following him, working out where he's going, rounds out, and direct hit for 324 this time. Actually landed on his frontal plate. You can see there's a big mark just below his aiming device. Unfortunately, he cured his stun straight away, so I'm not getting his stun assist off that. But one of the enemy Artys has also been spotted. And I think he's not going to last very long because the IS-7's moved up and gets a quick kill. Okay, where do we go next? Looking for a target. The T-49 is still close. And we lost our... I think that's a Jagdtiger. There's the T-49. Keeps popping up to have a quick look and then pulling back down. No other target that I can focus on for the moment. Just looking around to see if I can find anything. Oh, we've got someone at last, the 277. Rounds out. Direct hit. 358. Tracked him. The Heshbarn's gone. Okay, I was following the 277, trying to work out what he's going to do next. Char Future 4's gone in the centre of the map. There's the 277 again. Marked him as target. Sometimes marking as target actually prompts your teammates to fire at them, and that might track them long enough so you can get a shell into them. Rounds out. Well, it landed next to him, but it didn't actually hit him, and now we've got the gorilla in sight, so I've switched targets to him, and he's killed pretty promptly. We're running ahead with this battle now because we're 5 tanks up on the enemy. Only 4 of them left. The T-49, the Object 704, and the 277. T-49's pulled back to try and help his teammates, but unfortunately he was too quick to come out of the dip. Rounds out the 277. Again, I've splashed him and tracked him. Hopefully my teammates and the other Artys are focusing on him. Question of which one should I go for? So I've marked the 277 as next target. Let's try and work out where he's coming up. He's trying to use the Rex for cover. Grabs out. Again, I've tracked him. And this time I got some damage assist. There's one of the Arty. He's gone. There goes the 277. That just leaves the 704 as the last one. And he's killed. And that's the end of this battle. So, back to normal as an Arty, but I didn't get a lot of damage in that game. But there's 2 battle videos, so we'll go straight into the second game. And the second replay, I'm on Malinovka on the Eastbourne. Game started. I can tell you it was quite a relief to get back to playing the M53, M55 and getting actual damage on the enemy rather than the terrible sandbox where it was really difficult to get any damage whatsoever because they've reduced the damage on the shells. Now they say they only reduced it by 10%. In actuality they reduced it by about 30 to 50%. Okay, going to the bush. Rounds out. Well, if there was somebody there, they've been pretty much disturbed. And I'm going to change position again. Oh, there's the GWE100. So I'm not going to stick around in this area. I'm going to gradually migrate my way down to the south. Okay, we're almost loaded. And I'm looking towards the north because I'm expecting the enemy to come up to this area, up the hill. We do have a light tank up there already, having a quick look. And yes, he has found the enemy, and it's an AMX-30B. The French tier 10. Rounds out. He changed course, but he did get stunned. He's burned his first aid kit. And he's just coming up for a look-see, and he's disappearing. Oh, no, he lost some hit points there. And he's trying to get away. But his teammates will be with him. Just waiting for them to come into sight. Our heavies are getting up to the top as well. So there's Wilby. I haven't been on the American server very long, actually. It's only sort of like towards the end of last year when Klaus Kellerman actually had a... he alerted us to a contest where he was trying to win a computer, and you can see a fence being knocked over there, so somebody's arrived. And so I actually entered using Klaus Kellerman's code and opened up an American account, and I've been playing a lot on it since to try and get all of the tanks. In fact, I'm playing more on my American account than I do on my European accounts. 271 off a near miss. That's not the only American tank up there though. There's another one, T-26E5 Patriot. The upgraded version of the Pershing. Okay, A phase 1. Now that's one of the reward tanks with 4 sets of tracks. The front ones and the rear ones. My teammate just fired a round in and stunned them. I'm firing in the other side. Okay, that T-30 has moved up, so's the Patriot. Lost sight of the guys by the windmills, so we're going to focus on these ones for the moment. And he's just been nicely clipped by my teammate, so he's stunned and tracked. Rounds out. And direct hit. The shell disappeared without an explosion, so we know we hit that target. And the enemies managed to kill most of the tanks that are up on the top of the hill. But we've got a Bisonte who thinks that sitting behind a wreck like that will actually give him some cover. Actually, it just makes you a much better static target for Arty. He's pushing the wreck down the hill, using it as 20 meters of extra armor, but it won't prevent a shell landing right on top of your tank. Yep, 403 hit points lost, and he's killed. Okay, we're switching targets now. Doing our best. Now, it's around about this sort of time I'll start loading the premium ammo as the enemies start grouping together. So I've focused on the Pershing first. And despite the fact that he's just been stunned by my teammate, I'm launching the round in, and it goes to the right again. I seem to be getting a lot of shots where I fire, and the shell goes to the right. Trouble is, if you aim to the left to make the shell go straight, the shell will probably go to the left as well. Okay, the T-30's made a bit of a boo-boo there because he's actually gone up on top of the hill. He's much more open as a target now, and he's gone before I can even shoot. So instead I'm going for this T-30. Rounds out. Lands it between both of them. I hit the AMX-30B and the T-30 with the same shot. Okay, and they're bunching up now, so it's around about now that I start loading the premium ammo. T-30 goes down into the dip to kill the Carnarvon. And he's gone. And there goes the MX-30B. So we're actually 3 tanks up on the enemy at the moment. But that's no guarantee we're going to win the game. Got a Jaegeru up the other end of the map, and we've got 2 tanks, a TVP VTU and an Object 430U. I'm trying to help them. Okay, we get a bit of stun and a bit of splash. But Jaegeru is a very dangerous tank, and he's got a 17cm gun. He's just wiped out the TVP VTU. And he's reloading to kill the 430. Okay, almost loaded. It's one of the good things about Arty is that you fire over the entire length of the battlefield, so you can assist your teammates wherever they might be. 430U is staying close to the water at the moment. I guess he's probably hoping that we'll soften the enemy up. The AE Phase 1's coming to sight, and he's pushing a wreck as well. And he just killed our Waffenträger who came out and was spotted. Grabs out. Direct hit for 479. Starting to rack up the sort of damage that I normally do in these battles. As I said during the sandbox testing, I normally get between 2 to 3k of damage in an average battle in the M53. We just lost the Carnarvon, taken out by their Arty. The enemy team have an Object 261 and an M53 M55. Well, the AE Phase 1's gone in behind the rock. Grabs out. Didn't get anything off that one at all. We've lost the 430 to the north as well, whilst I refocus back to the hill. Okay, we spotted a Scorpion trying to kill our Star 2, who's gone lakeside. It's gone up onto the ramp to try and spot the enemy. That was a nice splash there that tracked the Scorpion. But the AE Phase 1 is still in position. Can we get a shot on this guy? Oh, I thought he was going to go back a bit further, and instead he actually foxed me and pulled forward. Now, what I should do at this moment where you're actually aiming at one and looking at the other is hold down your right hand mouse button so that you can hold your aim on one particular spot, then twist the mouse to actually look in the other direction and see what's going on with the other. Oh, the Scorpion's come round. He's been very, very sneaky. Grabs out. Direct hit on his rear. Took him out the game. Very sneaky player. Actually went around the block. Came up by the water. And the T-30 is now in the open and headed south. I'm not loaded, so I can't do anything about it yet. I thought I was going to migrate south actually in this battle. I usually do that gradually, bit by bit, but the battle's been so intense that I didn't move. But I think I will now. So you see, I'm keeping my eye on the enemy whilst I was turning around and departing the area. I'm going to put a bit of distance between me and those enemies for the moment. Might also help my shell trajectory, because it won't be so flat. The closer the enemy is to you, the more flat your trajectory is. So getting a bit of distance away actually will help increase the height of your trajectory and enable you to get more accurate shots on targets which are hiding behind cover. Okay, the AE Phase 1 you can see now is fully in sight because I'm much further away. So I'm able to lob a shell in on him. Rounds out. It goes long. I haven't used up my premium ammo actually, and I'm now down to just 5 rounds. We're 1 tank short. We were 3 up at one point, if you remember. Now we're 1 tank down, so the battle's very much gone against us. And our Renegade is very short on hit points. The other tank there is the Jagdtiger. I'm going to have another try at this AE phase 1. And it falls short this time and hits the rock. And the T-30 is now out in the open, and I'm not loaded. But he is a splash kill. Now, I hope I will be able to get around into him, but I've got to wait 16 seconds, but I don't have to worry because the GWE-100 got him. So, the enemy tanks, the enemy team have got 4, we've got 3. We've lost the T-30, taken out by their GWE-100. And yet again, a round hits the rock and does not hit the AE phase 1. This is not looking good. I'm the one who's more than likely going to spot the Jaeger if he's coming south and through the fields. He'll probably try to avoid the cap and come directly towards the woods. I'm very tempted to fire into that area, but I'm wondering if the AE phase 1 has actually moved. Well, there's one of my rounds and I'm now actually down to 2 rounds, and they're both premium rounds. That may have been a bit of a mistake because I've used up one of my last 3 rounds available. And there goes the GWE-100 taken out by the enemy Arty, the Object 261. And I guess he must have seen the tracer, and there's the Jaeger. I'm going to have to try and get a shot on him to help the Jagdtiger. I may get seen. It lands short, and I'm pretty certain he did see me. Yep, he did. Not all I can do except move. And I'm taken out. The Jagdtiger has got the AE phase 1 directly behind him. And that's it. The game's over. Not a lot we could do there. So unfortunately this one is a defeat. But let's have a look at the end of battle stats for both games. Here's the end of battle results, and in the first game on Fisherman's Bay I managed to get a 3rd class tanker in the M53, M55, a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits, and I also got a Confederate medal because I hit more of the enemy than anyone else on my team. I didn't get a huge amount of damage, but I did hit a lot of them, and at least 6 tanks that were subsequently taken out by other teammates. My win age, as you can see, was fairly low, 1,691. Yeah, a lot of my shells weren't going exactly where I wanted them to go. So let's have a look at the team score. Well, as you can see, it wasn't a very good battle for me because I only got 1,999 hit points of damage, well below my par, my average, you might say right at the bottom end of it. The high score in the game was the E75 with 3,919, then the Progetto with 3,868 hit points, and finally the T110E3 managed 3,045. That's what normally in this sort of level where I'd be in the top 3. When it came to kills, I didn't get any at all, but that actually helped me to get the Confederate. The high scorers again, the E75, the Progetto, and there's a whole bunch of tanks with 2 kills apiece, including one of my own teammates in the Arty. When it came to base XP, it was the E75 again, the M53, M55, then the Progetto, and I'm way down here with 760, so wasn't a great game. Let's have a look at the shots fired, details. 13 shots fired, 2 direct hits, no penetrations on the enemy, only 2 hits out of 13, yeah, that's a poor battle, and splashed on 12, 1,999 hit points, all of it at more than 300 meters. I damaged 6 of the enemy, didn't get any kills, but I got 572 hit points of stun assist off 10 stuns. On a premium count, I earned 33,165 credits, got 16,585 from personal reserves, and 80,000 for completing a mission. You can see there's 250 gold there as well. Yes, I had the battle pass right from when it started, so I've been picking up the 250 gold every day by playing every day just to make sure that I earn the money back or get the gold back from them. 129,748 credits altogether, and after ammunition resupply I took away a profit of 105,438 credits. I got 1,140 XP, times 2 for the first victory, same again from personal reserves, took away 3,420 experience points altogether. So, yes, he said, refreshing to be back on the live server after the sandbox. It was quite a change. The sandbox was dreadful, the damage was low, everything was going bad. Let's have a look and see the second battle and see how I got on in that one. Well, that one we lost the game, but I got a second class tanker in this one. I also got a bruiser medal for getting at least 5 critical hits. I got 24, which is more like it. A Gauze medal for doing more damage, exceeding 8 times the hit points of my own vehicle. And also a Confederate out of that one as well, for hitting more of the enemy than anyone else in my team. My win rate was 4,204, which again is more like my normal score. But unfortunately I was shot and killed by the Jaegeru because he saw where I was. If we look at the team score, we can see I was top of the table on my team, but I was not top overall. The Object 261 on the enemy team managed a Gauze medal, high caliber and a Confederate for 4,401 hit points. I wonder how long this guy's going to be able to do that when Wargaming changes the everything that they've intending to do from the sandbox. If they bring those in, I don't think this guy's going to be at the top of the table anymore. He's more likely going to be down here. Same with myself. I got the highest damage on my team, 4,222, second highest damage on the game. The third highest damage was that A phase 1 with 3,350. When it came to kills, it was actually shared between the Renegade and the A phase 1 and Jaegeru on the enemy team. And, well, you can see I only got the 1 kill out of that game. But when it came to base XP, I'm actually, well, fairly well down because the winning team managed to get 1,049 for the AE Phase 1, 1,026 for the Object 261, 839 for the Jaegeru, and, well, you can see there's 7 members of the enemy team are above me, so I'm 8th when it comes to base XP with 652. 19 shots fired in that game, 4 direct hits, 20 splash, and damage of 4,222 hit points. All of it at more than 300 meters. I received 1 hit. It was a penetration. That was the 17 centimeter shell from the Jaegeru, which wiped me out straight away. 10 enemy vehicles were damaged, 1 was killed, and 334 hit points of damage assist, plus 1,415 hit points of stun assist off 19 stuns out of that game. You can see I only have 1 round of ammo left at the end of the game. Yeah, pretty poor. 53,768 credits from the game, 26,884 from personal reserves, and 15,000 for completing a mission, plus 5,589 for courageous resistance, because I got an epic medal and a battle hero medal in the end of that game. Plus I got the 250 gold for participating in the game on that day. 101,240 credits altogether, and after resupply of ammunition I took away 45,820 credits profit. 978 XP, 558 for courageous resistance, 1,536 from personal reserves, and took away 3,072 experience points altogether. So 2 very different battles. On the other game, my teammates were actually a lot more efficient than in the subsequent game on Malinovka. In fact, I basically was just acting in a supporting role, not actually clobbering the enemy and getting lots and lots of damage. And of course, as you saw, a lot of my shells were not hitting the targets exactly where I wanted them to, but my teammates were making up for it by actually killing the enemy en masse. In the second battle, I was actually more again in a supporting role, but I was hitting as many enemies as I could, and I did get hit a lot of them in that game. As you can see in the detail report, 10 of the enemies, so that's 2/3 of the enemy team, were hit by me, but I only got the single kill out of it. So couldn't get them all, as I said, but I had a bit of fun, and it was much nicer to be back in the normal realms at either the top of the table or near the top, so that I'm earning the right amount of damage. But I can tell you for sure, if Wargaming brings in those changes to the sandbox, I'm afraid you will not be at the top of the table anymore as an Arty. In fact, it's very unlikely you'll be anywhere near the top of the table, probably near the bottom of the table when it comes to damage, because even if you get direct hits on the enemy, you certainly won't be doing enough, and it will be fairly low values of damage to get yourself an ace tanker, because not many people will be getting a lot of damage if you're playing Arty. So I hope you enjoyed both those replays. If you did, please give this video a like. Do subscribe to our channel. Leave a little comment down below, and it feeds the algorithm.
You just keep coming up.
Yes.
Don't stop on the stairs.
Okay, where's my son?
Bye.
And thank you for watching.